Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at Carnage from Mafax No.110. This figure was released in 2021, and this one really has the comic book version and the Amazing Spider-Man version of the character. This one is the closest of all the Carnages that I've actually reviewed that has one of the best representation of the character. And I'm sorry, it's actually not 110, it's 118. I just noticed that right now, right here on the side of the box. What we're going to do now is take the figure and the accessories out and see everything that the figure comes with. Alrighty folks, as you can see, this figure comes with a lot of accessories. When I first saw this figure and how much it was going for, I was like, I don't know if I want to pay that much for this figure. But then when you see everything that the figure comes with, you're like, you know what, maybe it's worth it. So yeah, it comes with a lot of accessories. Let's go over them. First and foremost, I don't know if you guys know much about Mafax, but they always send you a stand. It's a clear stand. I believe it's called a dynamic stand because it actually is very movable. There we go. Clamps the figure here. Has this turning. You can actually turn this. This goes up and down quite a lot, and then this pegs onto the base. Here's the base it comes with. Has 3 points to where you can actually put the dynamic stand on for the figure. Just clear plastic. And then let's get into all the accessories. It comes with these 2 symbiotic, like, they're not even limbs, they're more like just, I guess, stuff going around his body. The paint application is just so unreal, so vibrant. I like this paint out of all the Carnages that they've done, and the head sculpts, which I'll go over here shortly. But like I said, it comes with 2 of them. They're both kind of similar, but they actually are different. So it comes with 2 of those. It comes with extra feet, which I'm not exactly too sure why. I've looked at the other figure. Actually, now I just noticed why now. This one has 2. I'm not too sure what those are. I'm pretty sure they're magnet. And I was actually kind of curious as to some other ones, and I'll show you guys here shortly. But these 2 have these little magnets. I don't even know if they're magnets or not. I think they're just, it's metal. So I'm not too sure. But it comes with 2 of these. Obviously left and right foot. It comes with 2 kind of closed hands. Almost to see like if he was like holding on to something. And I do believe they both look very similar as far as the black part. It just kind of mirrored actually. This is the other ones I was talking about that have the little metal piece. Like I said, I'm not sure what that metal piece is for. The box did not come with instructions, so I'm just kind of like, I have no idea what they're for. Maybe you can get something metal and he's, he actually can stick pretty good. I'm not sure. I actually haven't tried it. But he comes with 2 of these hands, the left and the right. Like I said, they're both mirrored, so they're both exactly the same, just mirrored. It comes with 2 of the same exact hands without the metal piece. Two hands kind of a little bit open, almost like he's getting ready to engage. And then he also has 2 pointing hands. Actually, they're not really pointing. It almost looks, I don't know if you guys know about sign language, but that's a G that he's kind of doing. Or maybe, you know, he's picking something up. But if you have him pegged, you know, it's almost like he's almost going like this. And that's a G in sign language. So I have no idea what that's going on with. Now he does have some limbs. This one's a hammer, which is actually new. Out of all the figures, all the Carnage figures that I have not seen a hammer yet. This is not, it's not rubberish. It does move, it does move a little bit, but it's not rubberish. And it's just going out of his hands that you can peg into his wrist. It comes with two of these. They're very similar to each other. They're just mirrored. It's like the symbiotic limb is coming out of his nails. This, very different. I guess it kind of wraps around his body, but it's weird to me because this can wrap around his body kind of nice, but this is just completely sticking out. Like, you wrap this around his body and it's like, it almost looks like he has a tail sometimes when you wrap it around his body. So I haven't used this on the figure. This is just very weird to me. I don't really know what they were going for with this one. I haven't used it. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm not saying I hate it. I appreciate the put in. I'm not a big fan of that. He has two almost like Wolverine claws, you know, except that's only two. And like I said, they're both left and right. Two of them. I do believe... Actually, I just noticed something. They did a very nice paint all the way around with this one. And this one's actually missing the paint on this side. It's on the left, the right hand. There's actually something else wrong with the figure that I'm gonna go over here shortly. You know, I should have done this review a while ago when I first got the figure and possibly returned it. I don't know if I, you know, returning it, I would have got the same exact one back. Maybe that's how this batch came. But yeah, that's another flaw that I found just now. And then these other ones are just, it's like a big old spike coming out of his knuckles. They're pointy, but they're not sharp. They do bend. They don't bend like very, very good. But it's not hard plastic, so the other thing that comes with is the axe. Like you've seen on most of my other Carnage that come with symbiotic limbs, there's always an axe. And I can appreciate that, you know, it's very nostalgic to put the axe with the Carnage figure. More than likely, I'm gonna probably have him with one of these, with this axe, or with, you know, with one of these. Just keep it nice and simple. He does come with 3 head sculpts, including the one he has, which I'll go over here shortly. He has a Cletus Cassidy head sculpt. Probably one of the best ones I've seen so far. Aside from the Diamond Select one, this one, I like it. I like it just for the simple fact that when it pegs onto his head, it's like the original comic, you know, from not the comic book, from the Amazing Spider-Man when he first appeared, when he did not have the symbiote around his head. It was just, you can see his head. And so the Diamond Select one, it actually kind of went around his face almost. But this is very, very nice. And then the actual Carnage face. The other one, which I will show you here shortly, it's the same exact head sculpt, except his mouth is open. But this paint application on here is just very nice. I was actually checking, that's why I squeeze right now, because it feels kind of soft, but not hard. So yeah, that's everything that the figure comes with. And what we're going to do now is get the figure and take a closer look. Alrighty folks, here he is, Carnage from Mafax. One of the best Carnage I've seen. One of the best articulations. Overall one of the best Carnage I've seen from the comic books. I mean, more from the show. When I first seen him on the show, I just fell in love with the character. You know, and I read his comics, and I just gotta say that the Amazing Spider-Man Carnage is the best Carnage overall for me. That's just my opinion. So first, what we're gonna do is get height on this figure. He stands at about 6.5 inches. I believe in the box it actually says only 6 inches. It's 6.5. So taking a closer look at the figure, here's the other head sculpt it comes with. Mouth open. This is kind of weird to me though. It's just a big old spot of pink. Other than that, the head sculpt's exactly the same as the other one. It's just, you know, the mouth's open. But the rest of his body, it's just very nice and simple. The black, it stands out so much from the red. As you'll tell from, you know, when I do the comparisons, I like how they did this one a lot more than they did the other ones. But then again, I can't really complain. This is a 2021 figure. The other ones are just a lot older. So, you know, just getting a little bit close up detail. I will go over articulation here shortly. And I'm kind of noticing it actually kind of just mirrored this side of the foot with this side a little bit. No, it's actually different. I'm glad they actually did, you know, they changed it up, because none of his body is the same. I do kind of feel like they put a little bit too much black here though. Yeah, this figure is just very, very nice. There we go. So what we're going to do now is go over articulation. Alrighty, folks. So going over articulation, the first thing before we go over articulation I want to point out, he does have a butterfly joint on both arms. Now what I noticed before I go any further is that this butterfly joint is actually stuck. It's very stuck. I cannot move it. I try to get, you know, something in here to try to budge it. It just does not budge. And like I said, I wish I would have reviewed this figure and looked at all this detail before, so I can either return the figure, but it's been a while. It's been sitting in the box for a while. The other thing that I have a really big complaint with, as you can see, this is where the bicep is on this hand, right? If you look at this arm, you can see that the bicep's actually in the back. And the back of the arm is right here. So when you turn it to where it's supposed to look correct, they have the elbow placed at the wrong spot. See? That's just, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was a manufacturer's fault. You can't really tell with the figure unless you really, now that I showed it to you, I'm pretty sure you can tell now. But you can't really tell. Also, just before I continue with articulation, because of that, this part not moving, this arm goes down right there. This one does not move, and it's just always right there. Very, very upset with that. Like I said, I wish I would have known, so I could have gotten it, you know, taken care of. But it's been a while, so more than likely I'm just going to have this figure in the box. And we'll see what happens. One day maybe I'll sell him. Maybe not. Maybe I'll keep him. But anyway, going over articulation. He has a single ball joint at his head. And it's very, very articulated. So as far as the ball joint on his head, looks up till about there, and he looks down. Oh, before, there we go. Looks down till about there. He actually also has a swivel, and he turns 360. His neck actually has movement itself. It looks like it's also at a ball joint, but because, you know, the rest of the body, it kind of construes its movement, but it does move quite very nicely. That's just very nice movement on the neck and the head. So I'm not going to be able to go over articulation on this hand. So he does have a butterfly joint. His shoulder moves up very high. Most figures only go up to about there. This one, all the way up. As far as going down, almost right next to his body. This one, obviously, it's not. 360 turn. He has a 360 turn at the bicep. He has a double bend at the elbow. Single ball joint at the wrist, so he has a 360 turn, and you can go up, down, sideways on it. He has a torso, goes down to about there. And he does have a very back movement for the torso, which I can appreciate. His waist is 360, and is actually also does have a ball joint, so actually you can turn very nicely. Actually, I just noticed it says Marvel right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. As far as his legs, they go up. They go up to about there, and they go back to about there. He does not have any movement at the thigh. He has a double bend at the knee. He has no movement at the calf. And it looks like a single ball joint at his ankle, so it gives him full mobility of his ankle. And his toes have movement. A little bit stiff, but there we go. So what we're going to do now is get some other figures. Hold on, let me try to stand them up here. Good. What we're going to do now is get some other figures and do some height comparisons. Alrighty folks, so as far as height comparisons, this is the Mafax Carnage, released in 2021. This is Maximum Carnage, released in 1994 by Toy Biz. You can see that character comes up to about, I'd say, his shoulders. As you can see, the paint application on this one, it's not too bad. I'll bring him a little bit closer so you can see. The paint application on this figure is not too bad. But this one, they just did a lot better work. Then, you know, like I said, this is a 1994 figure, and this is a 2021 figure. There's, you know, years away from each other, so can't complain too much. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Carnage. They almost have, if this guy's not looking down, there we go. They almost have just about the same height. I do want to say this one's a little bit taller. No. That just my eyes playing with me because of the tendrils in the back. They're about the same height. Now, between these two, I like how this one, the mouth, you can actually see right through it. But I know because it's from the Amazing Spider-Man show that this is how it looked. So I can't complain too much. I just really rather prefer it this side. Like I said, this one doesn't, as far as the tendon, or I guess the symbiote around his body, I do more appreciate this one than I do this one. This one just, it's lacking the black. And then we're going to bring in Spawn by McFarlane Toys. As you can see, this figure is kind of tall, so Carnage only goes to about his shoulders. And then we're gonna bring in, let me get him, Lobo from Storm Collectibles. This figure just towers every figure I've had so far. I do not believe I've actually done a review of any figure that's taller than this figure. But look at that. Carnage only comes up to about his chest. That is just insane. Like I said, I don't know if that character, I've said before in my previous videos, I don't know if this character is tall to begin with. I do believe most Storm collectible toys are just, the toys are tall. And that's how they make them. But that toy is just ridiculously tall. Alrighty folks, this is Carnage by Mafax No.118, released in 2021. If you liked the video, please like and share it. Please subscribe. Also, I do ask that if you watch the videos, please watch them all the way through. It helps the channel out, and it helps me grow a lot bigger. If you have any questions, please comment down below. That being said, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.